so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect all of our quad bows. Did I say that right? Together. All right. So I have about 3.5 feet of thread onto one needle, and I have a stop bead at the end. So I'm going to go through my first quad bow right here. Like this. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to pull. I'm going to pull. And now I'm going to pick up an 8/0, and I'm going to pick up my second quad bow. And you want to set it down like that, and you want to go into that last hole like this and pull. Now from here, I'm going to pick up 2 11/0s. I'm going to get 2 of my bronze, and I'm coming out here. Let me just get more in the middle here. I'm coming out here. I picked up 2 11/0s, and I'm going to go in through the hole right next to the one I'm coming out of, and I'm going to pull. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up another 11/0, and I'm going to go back out of this quad bead like this. I'm just going to go through the next hole next to the one I'm coming out of. So that would be the third hole. And this is what we have. And now I'm going to pick up 2 more 11/0s, and I'm going to go in through my last hole. And these are going to be flipping around on you until we connect all of them. Now from here, I'm coming out of this one, and I'm going to pick up an 8/0 again, and I'm just going to turn this, and I'm going to pick up my next quad bow like this again. So I'm going to go through that last hole, and I'm going to pull, and I'm going to pick up 2 11/0s. I'm going to go through that second hole, and I'm going a little bit faster now because I've already showed you what beads I'm picking up. So I'm just going to pick up everything that I need to pick up to hurry up with this step. So I picked up 1 11/0. I'm going through that third hole, and now I'm coming out there. I'm going to pick up 2 more 11/0s, and I'm going to go through this last hole. And now I'm going to pick up, I'm coming out, so I need to pick up an 8/0 and my last quad bow. I'm going to go through that last hole, and then I'm going to pick up 2 11/0s, going to go through the next hole in line and pull tight, 1 11/0, go through the third hole, and now we're going to pick up 2 11/0s. I'm going to go through the last hole in my into the middle of my project, and the last, we're going to connect these by picking up an 8/0 bead. So I have my 4, and I need to connect them all with an 8/0. And I'm going to go through this hole here, I'm going to pull, and now we need to put our 11/0s on this side of this quad bow. So in goes, on goes 2 11-0s, down my second hole, and pull tight, 1 11-0, up through the third hole, and then 2 11-0s, and then we're going to go in through our last hole. Just don't go through that stop bead. And if you catch your 8-0, that's fine because we need to go through it. So do this and I will meet you back. You should be coming out of your 8-0 in your project like that. And now we're going to pick up 2 11-0s. We're going to go, coming out of here, we're going to go through this 11-0 right there. So go through it and pull. Pick up 2 more 11-0s and go through this 8-0 down here. And I'm going to pick it up because it's easier to work with like that. So I picked up my 2 and I went through that middle 11-0 there that I had there from my previous step. Coming out of it, now I'm picking up 2 more 11-0s and I'm going to go through this 8-0. Coming out of that 8-0, I'm going to pick up 2 more 11-0s. And I'm going to go through this 11-0 here. And then now I'm going to pick up 2 more 11-0s. And I'm going to go through this 8-0 here. And now coming out of that 8-0, 2 more 11-0s. In through this 11-0, and pull, and then my last 2 11-0s, and I'm going to go through this 8-0 here, and now what I'm going to do, and that's what you should have. That's what you should have. And now what I'm going to do, coming out of this 8-0, I'm going to go through the first 2 11-0s after my 8-0. And I'm going to pull. And then from there, I am going to pick up. Whoops. Okay, so I'm coming out of these 2 11-0s, the ones that I just added, and I'm going to pick up my 6mm faceted disco ball bead, and I'm going to let it drop. And for this part, you don't have to use a disco ball bead. I think any 6mm round bead would work. I don't know about a fire polish, but you can try it. So I'm coming out here of this disco ball bead. I'm going to go through the 2 11-0s here that are right before my 8-0. And I'm going to pull. I'm going to go through my 8-0. And then I'm going to come out of the 8-0 and go through the 2 11-0s right after it, which would be the ones we added in our previous step. And now I'm going to go through my 6mm bead again. Make it brighter because you can see my shadow. Now I'm coming out of my 6mm disco ball and I'm going to go through the 2 seed beads here that are closer, that are right before that 8-0. And then back in through my 8-0 and out of my quad bow. So this is what you should have. Now I'm coming out. Whoop. I have another needle here on my mat and I got tangled up in it. Okay. So now I'm coming out of here. And you can go either this way or this way. But I'm just gonna go through, I'll start here. I'm gonna go by going through these two 11-0s and pull. Then you're going to pick up one more 11-0 and I'm gonna pick up a different color. You don't have to do that. You can use the same color. And then I'm gonna go through these two. Now, when I get here on this side, and if you look closely at your little unit, where this, you can see the strings going in like that through your crystal, up here and down here. That is where I'm going to put my little PieDuos, like this. So on these two sections where that are going like in the same direction as the strings in this crystal. But I'm getting to this part here. So I'm coming out of my 11-0. I'm going to go in through my QuadBow, through my 8-0. And out of this QuadBow, and there I'm going to add I can't see the hole, there we go. I'm going to add this section here, which is an 11-0, a crystal, and 11-0. Okay, so I'm going to go 11-0, crystal, and 11-0, like that. And I'm coming out of my QuadBow here. I'm going to come around and go through all of those again. So coming out of this one, I'm going to go in through this one, so I'm circling around. And of course, I'm going to catch that 8-0 again. And then I'm going to come out of my QuadBow, which they're not hard to see, but here we go. So that's what we got. Now I'm coming out of my QuadBow. I'm going to go through these two 11-0s. Like that. And I'm going to pick up an 11-0 to put in between these two groupings, just one. And I'm using the blue again. And just don't get your thread caught. Now here is where I'm going to add one of my PieDuos, okay? So to add your PieDuos, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in, coming out of my 11-0, I'm going to go in my QuadBow, go in through that 11-0, and then out to my other QuadBow like this. And I'm going to pick up 3 15-0s, and I don't think I have it hanging here on my mat. Let me put some on my mat. So I'm going to pick up 3 15-0s. And then I'm going to pick up my PieDuo like this. And I'm going to pick up my 3 11-0s and my earring hook, which I'm gonna go get, so I'll be right back. I went and got my earring hook. So I was coming out of this QuadBow. I picked up 3 15-0s and I went through my PieDuo. Now I'm going to pick up 2 11-0s. and my earring hook, and I'm going to, you can use a wire guard for this, but I'm not. And then go through your earring hook the right way. And then I'm going to pick up 2 more 11/0. I'm going to go down the other hole of my PieDuo. I'm going to hold on to everything and pull. And then I'm going to pick up 3 more 15/0. And then I'm going to go through, here I am, I'm going to go through this quad bow here. And then through the 8/0. And I'm going to come out of the other quad bow. And what I'm going to do now actually is I'm going to go through everything again, just so that I have 2 threads going through this, since it does have my earring wire on there. And I think I'm okay, like, oh wait. Okay. Through the 11/0, through the earring wire, and then down these 2 11/0, and then down this PieDuo, down these 3 15/0, okay, that feels much better. And gotta catch this last 15/0, and in through my, oh, I can never remember this name, in through the quad bow, in through the 8/0. And if you've noticed, we've gone in through this same hole of this quad bow quite a few times already, and it does not feel like it's getting too tight in there, like it's going to break. It's going in there pretty good. So, you know, these are really good beads. All right, so now I am going to sew down these 2 11/0 here, picking up another 11/0, going in through these 2 other 11/0 right here next to it. And now we're going to do this part on this side, which is going through the quad bow, coming out of the 8/0. I'm just going to turn this, going through this quad bow here. See how easily I did that? That's awesome. And now here it's going to go 11/0, crystal, 11/0, and I'm going to go through, just circle around, going through this quad bow, 8/0, and coming out that other quad bow again. Okay, so if you bend it, you can really see it, and it's way easier. And you can feel how you still have space in there. That's so awesome. It really bugs me when I'm working on a project and I'm having to go through beads a few times, and you can feel everything getting really tight, and then you're all scared because you're afraid the bead's gonna break. Well, that's not happening here at all, so that is awesome. Okay, now I'm getting down to this part, whoop, and I'll show you how to add this bottom part. Just gonna go get my teardrop. Now I was coming out of this 11/0 here. I just went in through my quad bow into my 8/0, and now I'm coming out of this quad bow here. So here I am. And now we're going to add our PieDuo just like we did over here, but instead of adding an ear wire, ear hook, we are going to add a little teardrop on the bottom of our PieDuo. Now you don't have to add a teardrop, you can just leave it like that, or you can add another type of bead. You know, you can do whatever you want. but I'm gonna add a teardrop. So I'm picking up 3 15-0s, getting my other PieDuo, and I will have a tutorial coming up with showing you how to do a band for a bracelet with these awesome PieDuos. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up 2 11-0s, my teardrop, and I'm going through the thinner side first, and then another, did I pick up an 11-0 or no? Yeah, 11-0, and I'm gonna go back up my teardrop and up that first 11-0 after it. Yeah, and I'm just gonna hang on to, yeah, did I do that right? Yeah, I did. Okay, I'm gonna pull like that, and then unpull. And then now I'm going to pick up one more 11-0, and I'm gonna go into the other hole of my PieDuo. And I'm gonna hold on and pull. Okay. So now I'm going to pick up 3 15-0s, and I'm going to go in, and just be careful with your stop bead. It's still there. I'm going to go in through this quad bow again and out of my 8-0 to attach that. And now I'm going to go in through that other quad bow on the other side. And I'm actually not going to reinforce this because these are for me anyway. You can reinforce this if you want. I reinforce the other side because that's the part that we're going to be handling. We're not really going to be handling this part, but as I said, you can reinforce that. And I'm really loving how this copper looks with this blue. I really like copper with blue. So, okay, so pull everything tight so everything's nice and pretty. So you should be coming out of this quad bow. Now we're gonna start to connect everything together. So go in through all 5 of these 11-0s on the side there. Oop. Now when you come to this little section before this little grouping here of, hold on, of 11-0 crystal 11-0, when you're coming out here and right before that grouping, pick up 2 11-0s, go through your grouping, pick up 2 more 11-0s, and go through your grouping here. Go through all 5 of these beads, or as many as you can. If you can't get them all, that's fine. I need one more. So now before you get to connect to these, weird accent wants to come out. You're going to add 1 11-0 here, and you're going to go through these 3, and you're actually going to be reinforcing everything again because you got to go up these beads, and that's okay. So go through all of this here, down this last one, down your PieDuo, down these 3 15-0s, and then we're going to add 1 11-0, and then go through all 5 of these, or as many as you can. You can probably just get those 4, and then you have to, once you're coming out of that one, you can now go through that last one. So here we are again before this grouping. Add 2 11-0s here and 2 11-0s on the other side. So go ahead and finish adding your last beads that you need, and I will be back and we can look at our finished project together. So I added my last bead, and you still have a little tail thread over here, and if you're like me and you did it the way I did, your working thread is over here. So we want to get to this tail to tie a knot. So I added my last bead, and I'm coming out through these two groupings here. I'm just going to cheat a little bit by going through my quad bow, and then I'm going to go down this 11-0 here that's right before this 8-0, and then through this 8-0 and out through my quad bead on the other side. So here we go, and I'm meeting my threads, and I'm just going to tie a knot. So these are our earrings, and you should have something similar to this, and they're very nice. They're very easy to make. I would say they are beginner friendly. Keep in mind, you can also substitute this little bead for something else, like a dagger or a briolette. You can also leave it out. You don't need to put anything here on the bottom. So this is what you should have. I hope you enjoy making these, and thank you very much for watching.